All right, we'll start this next round of questions with Billy.
This is not my minute, right?
It's going to take a minute to read it. No, it isn't. This is an easy one.
Easy one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Many victims of crime in our county never hear what happens or what steps have been taken in investigation and follow up in the case. Do you think this is important? What would you do differently?
Why'd you give me that one? The community has a right to know, but on the other hand, if it's an ongoing investigation, things have to be kept under wraps. I mean, they have to be kept tight. That way, if there's some leads or something going on, it doesn't leak out, and that person that is a suspected whatever isn't tipped off and it goes away. But I do think that the community has the right to know, and at that point, we would get an officer in charge to make statements. That way, none of the particulars are leaked out and the suspect gets away. So that's where it goes.
I'm going to say it's kind of a mouthful. Many victims of crime in our county never hear what happens or what steps have been taken in Sorry.
I think the battery died.
Do you want to use this one for me?
Emergency.
Here's your sheriff voice.
Use my supervisor.
You got the principal voice. That's correct. I'm sorry, Mike. Can you answer the question?
Crime in our county never hear what happens or what steps have been taken in investigation and follow up in the case. Do you think this is important? What would you do differently?
Definitely. On a closed investigation, I do believe that the individuals, there can be closure. It can be brought out with a public records request. We don't have a newspaper here, although I don't know that you freely print stuff like that. Juvenile cases, a lot of them are closed. That will not come out no matter what happens. To bring, I'd like to see if we do not have the background to do investigations. I'd like to see some outside investigations brought in. People that have lost individuals, that continue to lose individuals, deserve a right to know and have the best on finding out what's wrong, what's gone on. So that's where I stand. Training and education. Thank you.
Renee, would you like that repeated?
Please.
Many victims of crime in our county never hear what happens or what steps have been taken in investigation and follow up in the case. Do you think this is important? What would you do differently?
It's definitely important for the victim to know where we're at on investigations, where we're at on follow-up, and where we are in the legal justice system. I think it's important for them to know that there's certain items out there that are available to them. There's the Crime Victims Compensation Fund that'll help them with therapies and medical bills and whatnot, and this would be information that would be readily available to victims. Victims absolutely have the right to know where their case is completely, not just bits and details. If it's their case and they're the victim, they need to know where we're at where we're at on the process of the legal justice system.
One more time, please.
Sure. Many victims of crime in our county never hear what happens or what steps have been taken in investigation and follow up in the case. Do you think this is important? What would you do differently?
It's absolutely important for the people that you're working with, that you're helping to solve crimes for, know what's going on. Along with the lack of leadership that we've seen, there's been a breakdown in communication between the community and the sheriff's office, mostly on the sheriff's office side. We can't always share everything we know, but in the past, it seems the standard statement has been, oh, that's secret squirrel stuff. You don't need to know. We need to communicate with those we're working with those people we're trying to help. If we aren't communicating, they don't know if we're helping. And that can be the most frustrating thing, is to not know what's going on when you're having a difficult time. As sheriff, we will communicate with those people we're working with. We'll communicate with the community so that you know what's going on, so that you don't have to wonder and go, oh, what are they doing over there? Because you'll know. We'll share everything that we can.
JR.
You don't need to read it. I think everybody's got that. The victim is the most important person in a case. Being a lead investigator, I know that. They need to be notified once a week, and I've done that on all my cases once a week. I don't know if anybody knows, but the detectives in the Magic Valley has a meeting once a week, also once a month. If something comes up that you had a crime on, the detectives all get together and we all kind of share notes. There's some notes that we can't pass on to the public. There's some notes we can't pass on to other officers, but we can do with other detectives. The other thing is that the victim needs to know what is going on in the case to an extent of things that we can't tell, but we can tell them that we're still working on that case and that the information that we have is sensitive and we can't let them know, but we are working on that case. And that seemed to work very well with me on my cases. I know that the victims feel better when they get a call from the officer.
That was the second
I
one.
thought you had a nervous hand, Mike.
I do.
Okay, who's first?
Are we up to another question? I think that everybody's had a question. Haven't we? We start that with Bill.